Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat, and Happy New Year. It is officially 2022, so you know what that means. We're going to be talking about my most anticipated movies of 2022. This is going to be my top 10 most anticipated films. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this list. At number 10, we have Don't Worry, Darling. So this is Olivia Wilde's follow-up to Booksmart, except this film is going to be completely different from that. So this is actually going to be a psychological horror film. It stars Florence Pugh and Harry Styles, as well as appearances by Gemma Chan, Chris Pine. Really solid cast. I'm excited to see what Olivia Wilde's going to do with this, especially being like a psychological horror film. Takes place during the 50s, and you know, Florence Pugh, she's quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses working right now. So I'm really excited to see this. We saw like there's like a small teaser out there, but I'm excited to see like an actual full trailer for this thing. But definitely one to keep your eyes out for. This comes out in September. At number 9, we have Halloween Ends. So we are going to be wrapping up the new Halloween trilogy that we've gotten, starting off with Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and this is going to be the concluding chapter. So I'm really excited to see how they wrap this trilogy up. Jamie Lee Curtis, she had mentioned that, some fans might be angry about what they do with this movie. So I'm curious what they, mean as far as that goes. But, my friend James Jude Courtney, I've had him on the channel, multiple times. And, he's mentioned, in interviews that I've done with him that, just trust the writers. They know what they're doing. So I'm really excited to see this just because I am a big Halloween fan. So I think they're going to do a good job with this last installment of the Halloween franchise. And that, obviously, right now is scheduled to come out in October of 2022. At number 8, we have Jurassic Park Dominion. So, with this, because I know some people are probably going to be like, the last two movies weren't really big fans of those. Like, I liked Jurassic World. The last one, Kingdom, was not really a fan of at all. I didn't like how they went to basically this mansion, and a lot of the film took place there. So, if it was just going off the past two films, I probably wouldn't be as excited for this, but we have, original cast returning in this film, which I think that's going to be awesome just to see them all back on the big screen in a Jurassic Park movie. And I like the concept that I feel like the last film was almost kind of like a setup, because now you're going to see the dinosaurs. They're just unleashed across the world. So I just really like that idea. I think that's a really, exciting thing to see. I haven't checked out there's like the little clip, I think it played before like Fast and Furious, if you saw it in IMAX, and then there was like the clip is now on YouTube. I haven't watched it because I kind of want to go into this movie not knowing anything or seeing any footage. Definitely want to see it, in IMAX for the first time fresh. So those are a couple of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to this new Jurassic Park movie. Is it going to be the last one that we're getting? Who knows? But yeah, can't wait to check that out. I don't know the exact date for this, but I'm assuming it's probably summertime 2022. At number 7, we have Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. So, obviously there's not really a lot of explanation needed for this film. The first one that they did, Into the Spider-Verse, was amazing. The animation was absolutely mind-blowing. The cast, as far as like the voice actors go, they just absolutely knocked it out of the park. So naturally, really looking forward to this. Can't see what else they're going to do, how they're going to be able to push things any further than what they already did, in the first film. So that's why it makes number 7 on my list. At number 6, we have Thor: Love and Thunder. So this sounds like there's several Marvel movies coming out this year, and this just sounds like it's going to be absolutely insane. You have Taika Waititi, him coming back again. Some of the set pictures and stuff that we've seen released, it looks like Chris Hemsworth. He's absolutely jacked. He has like this really cool kind of vest rocker, almost like outfit. So I love like the pictures and stuff that we've seen so far. The Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think they're going to have like a huge role, but they're going to be in it. We also have Natalie Portman coming back. She's going to be Lady Thor in the film. And you have Christian Bale is going to be one of, if not like the main villain in the movie. So definitely a lot to really look forward to. I can't wait to see once we get a trailer for this thing. And this is coming out mid-2022, I believe, as well. At number 5, we have Hocus Pocus 2. So if you guys know me, you knew that we're finally getting, what, like almost 30 years after the original, we're finally getting a sequel to Hocus Pocus. One of my favorite movies of all time, one of my favorite Halloween films, definitely of all time. I've seen this, I watch it every year for Halloween, so when they finally announced that this was going to be coming out, you knew this was going to make my most anticipated list. And there's another reason that I'm really, really excited for this film, and I will tell you guys a little bit more about that as we get closer to the release of it as well. At number 4, we have Scream. So this one, we actually don't have to wait very long to come out because this is releasing in about little under 2 weeks. So I mean, you guys know me, I'm a huge fan of the Scream franchise. I mean, 1 obviously is definitely my favorite. That is a classic. I've seen that movie so many times. It's one of my favorite movies, of all time. And just the more that I've read about, just different interviews with the cast, the writers, directors, and just, seeing the trailer, this looks like it's going to be a lot darker than some of the later entries into the Scream franchise. I really think it seems like, these guys who made it, they're all fans of the movie, we're big fans of Wes Craven. And so that's really what has me excited for this film, and it's coming out in a couple weeks. I was nervous initially when they mentioned it was coming out in January, because a lot of times when movies are released in January, that usually means they suck. But I do have quite a bit of hope going into this, just because of the passion that I think that's going into this project. So I can't wait to check it out, and hopefully it'll be there at the end of the year with one of my favorite movies of 2022. At number 3, we have The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson. Man, who would have thought back when Twilight came out that we would be saying, several years later that, oh yeah, Robert Pattinson one day is going to be playing Batman. Obviously he's a good actor. He got a lot of shit back then for playing Edward, but ever since then he's been in a number of really good roles. So he can definitely act. And after seeing the trailer, I was like, yep, I'm completely sold on this. I love the fact that they're going for a horror aspect to it. And this is supposed to be, I think, Batman in year 2, I believe, if I remember one of the interviews that the director did. It's supposed to be kind of year 2. They didn't want to do year 1 and do origin story or anything like that. So this is year 2. So it's still pretty early on, in Batman's career. And, I love that they're using Riddler too, because I feel like he doesn't get enough shine. So I'm definitely interested to see how everything plays out. For sure, it's going to be one of the best movies, I think, of 2022. And who knows, maybe it'll be my favorite movie of the year as well. At number 2, we have The Northmen. So the trailer for this just recently came out. And that's probably why it's so high up on my list. It was going to make my top 10 most anticipated, no question, just because we have Robert Eggers, who, he directed The Witch, he directed The Lighthouse, and we have Anya Taylor-Joy, one of my favorite actresses. As you guys know, them teaming back up again. You also have Willem Dafoe, who was in The Lighthouse, teaming back up with Robert Eggers, and just the cast, absolutely stacked. You have them, you have Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, Alexander Skarsgård. The list just goes on. And, just watching this trailer, some of the visuals that we get in this, it's supposed to be like a Viking, revenge kind of epic, story. And it looks absolutely insane. You can see that there's definitely, I think, a little bit bigger of a budget, compared to, and just as far as scope too, compared to The Lighthouse and The Witch. So I'm really, really excited to see, what Robert can do with this film. And if you don't get excited by that cast list, I don't know what is going to excite you. So yeah, that's why The Northmen makes my most anticipated list at number 2. And that comes out, it's pretty early on in the year. I believe it's April, I want to say, but it's early on in the year, so I can't wait to see that. All right, guys, so we have finally made it to my number 1 most anticipated movie of 2022. Again, we just recently got a trailer for this film, so some of you guys can probably guess this, but it's going to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So obviously after seeing, what happened in Spider-Man No Way Home, spoilers, sort of, if you haven't seen that film yet, but how that, deals with the multiverse. And it looks like, obviously this is going to continue, the after effects of what happened, in that film, and also started earlier on in WandaVision. Obviously, we're going to have Elizabeth Olsen's in the film. You know, we get to see Scarlet Witch again, and she's my favorite character. Again, another one of my favorite actresses, you know, working right now. So I'm really excited to see where they're going to take her character. You know, I'm really thinking that she's going to be, if not the main, definitely one of the, you know, one of the antagonists or villains, you know, in the movie for sure. So I really hope they go in that direction. You got Sam Raimi, you know, directing, and, you know, obviously with his horror background, I think that he was a perfect choice to, you know, pick this film up and direct it. And, you know, there's rumors of all kinds of like different cameos and stuff like that. So I really think that even though Spider-Man No Way Home was amazing with, you know, some of the stuff that we got in there, I personally think that they could really almost kind of take it to the next level with Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. So that is why it has made my #1 most anticipated movie of 2022. So yeah, those are my most anticipated movies of the year. There's obviously a lot of other ones coming out in the year as well. And again, as always, I do these movies in the beginning of the year. One, the past couple of years with the pandemic, you don't know what's going to get pushed back. So fingers crossed, none of these do. So there's, you know, one thing. But two, when I do these lists early on, there's usually quite a few films, you know, some of the smaller independent movies that either I don't know when I make this list and I don't find out till, you know, later. And so sometimes those movies will make my, you know, my favorites at the end of the year. Good example of that, if you watch my video for my favorite movies of 2021, which I'll link that down below in the comments, or in the description, but one of the movies in there was Shiva Baby, and it came out, I believe, early in the year, but I didn't hear about it till pretty recently. So that's a good example as well. And obviously this is my own personal list, so I'm sure your guys' list is definitely going to be different. So I want to hear what you guys are most looking forward to in 2022, because there's a good chance there's probably some movies in there maybe I haven't heard of them, and those, you know, that'll put them on my radar, and I'll, you know, be really looking forward to them. So let me know what your thoughts are and what your favorite, you know, movies are that you're looking forward to in 2022 are. Let me know down below in the comments. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well as the bell button next to it. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. Please give this video a thumbs up. Really, really helps. You know, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. And I'm really excited to, you know, to see what's going to happen in 2022. I have a lot of plans for this channel. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys can share these videos, you know, share the channel or whatever to help us get there, that would be greatly appreciated. And as always, guys, please make sure to check back for more Pop Culture with Pat.